Welcome back, Eagles. We're so hyped for Jersey Day.
That's right. I kind of thought we'd see more jerseys though. Anyways, today we'll be taking a look at some upcoming changes to Plymouth's tech programs.
Next, we have a surprise for seniors who are upset about the lack of snow days.
We'll also be taking a look into the shocking discoveries of some of PNN's investigative work.
And finally, we hit the halls to see some of your best impressions. So get ready, Plymouth North.
'Cause it's time for PNN.
Good morning, Plymouth North. I'm Seeger Crean.
And I'm Connor Jepson.
Discussions of redistricting have been common in the Plymouth Public Schools in recent years. Maeve and Jordan give us a closer look at new developments that will impact many PNHS students.
Redistricting has been a hot topic in the Plymouth community. Although school committee previously stated that this change would only affect the elementary schools, there has been a recent release of new information. A choice was made for the 2024 school year to move all tech programs to South and have North be an entirely non-tech school.
I know it's going to make some people upset, but engineering, facilities management, allied health, and marketing are all those students and staff members are now going to go from Plymouth North to Plymouth South.
With redistricting happening at the elementary level, it's projected to increase North's numbers and decrease South's, so this change will accommodate that.
We worked with some experts that helped us to do population trends and do what they call geospatial analysis, which is basically breaking up neighborhoods. We understand the emotional connection that people have to the school, so it's really hard making decisions no matter how logical they are.
In lieu of these changes, the district is devoted to supporting students.
We're going to go through this process as thoughtfully as we can and try and create a lot of function for these kids to feel welcome here, feel like it's their school, and feel like they've finally had the opportunity to come to a marquee high school in Massachusetts.
We're looking at having some socials and working with the administration on some other activities, but we feel confident that we'll make people feel at home in their new school. We've also talked about having a day where you go visit and be a student, be a Panther for a day, and go to classes with students over there, kind of like what they do when you go visit a college. We thought that would be a positive thing.
An unfortunate outcome of this plan is that many students will find themselves with longer and more inconvenient commutes.
It is what it is, if you're typically getting up at 6:30, get up at 6:15, the rest of this, for the next school year, and for me it's good because I go back and forth, and this kind of sounds funny, but I shouldn't be laughing about it, but I go back and forth from Plymouth North to Plymouth South a couple of times a day. Now, I'm going to camp out at Plymouth South High School where the tech program is now, and Plymouth Tech High School, and I'm going to stay there. So for me personally, it's a gain. For everyone else, it's kind of a bad thing.
This change will increase the size of South's construction cluster.
I think some of my kids will be excited to be part of the big construction cluster over at South. We have the plumbing, the HVAC guys, and the electricians. I'm not sure how much access we'll get to all that stuff. Tools and things is stuff that become kind of, keep your hands off of my toolbox type of stuff. So I think whatever we bring with us is pretty much what we're going to have.
Almost completed 2 small structures on the learning pad, and we can't wait for you guys to come. I do apologize, you're not allowed in the building for security reasons from Plymouth North, the folks coming in, but we do have an outhouse near the small pond, which is fine.
Combining, I think at first will be a little hectic, chaotic at best, and then after a while it'll iron itself out in a year or two.
Students at South were recently informed of this change.
Personally, I don't want them to come. This is South's territory, not North's. I don't need the Northers coming here at all.
I really hate it. I don't want to go to North at all. Their tech program's bad. All their sports teams are bad. This school is so much nicer, brand new school. I don't know what the point of going to North would be.
Many North families have yet to hear about this change, but Dr. Campbell assured us he will be emailing them in the coming weeks.
I really had a hard time with making those recommendations, as did the school committee, but at the end of the day, we feel that this will, our students will be okay, and this will be a positive thing for the long term.
We're going to have probably a week where we celebrate these kids and make sure that they know they're always welcome here. They're always going to be Blue Eagles, no matter where they go. And I'm sure at South they'll do something to try and welcome them down there. But I want them to know when they go down there that no matter what teal they have on, there's always blue underneath.
We wish all students affected a smooth transition into their new normal. Reporting for PNN, I'm Maeve Campbell.
Thanks, Maeve and Jordan. Sounds like an underclassmen problem to me. At least the administration is making up for it with this new development involving snow days. Parker and Ethan show us more about the district's Snow Day.
Throughout the years in Plymouth Public Schools, students have waited for the fated call from school notifying them that there will be a snow day. In recent years, that hopeful day of sledding and snowball fights has turned into a memory, now filled with barren backyards and snowless dreams.
So we've seen major development in Plymouth, right, over the past several decades. I know I moved up to Massachusetts, to the area, not into Plymouth, but in the early 80s, and it was really different. Even in, other towns, like where I used to live in Bridgewater, it was a lot really farmland, and I think Plymouth particularly right now is a town that's growing super fast. So as we take down trees, we're lessening our carbon sinks, which is crucial to greenhouse gas sequestration, where carbon dioxide is going to be taken up by green space. And the more people that we have moving into the area, the more businesses, the more combustion of fossil fuels we'll have. So it's definitely a concern. I think it's also a concern just for residents that green space seems to be diminishing in the town.
The growing population has had a strong impact on climate change in numerous ways. Plymouth and surrounding cities have grown vastly over the past decade due to industrialization and new technologies.
Basically, as global average temperatures increase, your ability for snowfall is going to decrease. You've got weather events that are increasing in their spontaneity and in their impact on the environment. Really, things are going to get more extreme. Water is going to rise, and overall, it's going to be a lot harder for all of us to live perfectly normal lives.
Due to the heightened effects of climate change in the Plymouth area, the Plymouth Public Schools has seen no snow days in the 2022 and 2023 school year.
As you know, we've had no snow days this year, and I think with the rising temperatures, getting more rain than snow, there's something special about having a snow day. It's something that is sort of a rite of passage.
Because of the shortage of snow days, students have had a notable reaction toward Plymouth Public Schools administration.
One thing that you don't learn in school administration, certainly as a superintendent, is the reaction that you're going to get from a snow day or the lack of a snow day. Social media, I think, tells us how people feel when we do have a day off or we don't have a day off.
PPS administration has been working hard all winter long to come up with an alternative to replace snow days in the future, the No Day.
So by Mass General Law, the Department of Education requires us to build a calendar with 180 school days and then 5 snow days, which typically go at the end of that. And if we use those, we're extending the year because of snow days off. We have had to extend them sometimes, many years ago, when we had a lot of snow, but if those days are not used, students don't have to go to school those days. But what we decided to do is, in addition to those days, that we'll put in a day. We're going to start with 1. We may go up to 2 the next year, but we're going to start with a no day, probably sometime mid-year.
This decision is irrevocable, meaning students will have at least 1 no day each year. Starting in the spring of 2023, on April 1st, students will enjoy a comfortable and relaxing day for themselves, thanks to the decision by PPS administration.
Really taking into consideration when kids may need a break, when teachers may need a break, and guarantee that day.
As the district prepares for the newest institution of the No Day, students still hope for a day of snow and fun. But until then, all that's in the forecast is blistering sun. Reporting for PNN, I'm Parker Maslowski.
Thanks, Parker and Ethan. I'm so glad we have an administration that cares about us. Well, maybe they care about us a little too much. Liam and Lucy did some investigative work on what goes on after hours at Plymouth North, and for the first time ever on PNN, we have breaking news.
Although the school day ends at 2 p.m. for us students, it is no secret that our teachers work tirelessly after hours to improve our academic lesson plans. With the sleeping over at school myth widely proven wrong, we took to the halls to see what Plymouth North teachers really do when that last bell rings.
Usually I go visiting, we'll go visit the English department, have tea with Ms. Laz, and discuss philosophy and educational things.
Go home and get the kids off the bus.
Okay, do you think we should go see what Mr. Parson does after school?
Let's go.
What are they doing?
It's all Miss Turner's money anyway.
After stumbling upon admin's after-school activities, we placed hidden cameras in the room to find out just how common this habit is. While most teachers are stuck grading papers, Plymouth North admin seems to be having their own fun.
Hey, I want you to get rid of it before somebody finds it, okay? The people know about it, I can't have them know about it. Okay? Oh, sure!
We sat down with Mr. Parson to discover the truth.
Liam, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't. Oh. I have no answers for you. As a matter of fact, you need to go back to class. If you don't want to get suspended, that's what you'll do.
Are you sure? You gotta answer. You gotta answer. With our recent discovery of some secret illegal gambling ring, we have had some anonymous tips from Plymouth North students that poker isn't the only gambling admin is partaking in.
We could probably talk to Nick and see what we can do about that as well.
Yeah, I saw him in the hallway with a girl.
He's very receptive to try and make it work for us.
We talked to senior basketball player Nick Marcel to hear his story.
I was in the lunchroom one day and I walked by their table and all I heard was Mr. Parson go, you know, I got the Nick Marcel over 15 and a half, and I threw about 40 bucks on it. And I was like, where's my cut? You know what I'm saying?
Although Parson believed Nick would get over 15 points, he didn't believe they would win.
Mr. Parson paid me an extensive amount of money to not make the state tournament, and I accepted.
All right, so you got a game Friday night?
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Parson talked to you earlier?
Yeah, he talked to me.
All right, so you know what's going on?
Yeah, I get the gist.
You sure?
Yeah.
You think you can get it done?
I think so.
All right, make sure.
Okay.
It's gonna cost.
Okay.
All right, talk to you later.
Talk to you later. What really was the last straw for me was he wanted me to lose the South game. And I had a lot on the line that game. My name, Rick Marcel, and a lot, just a lot. And he said, I need you to lose this game, but I wouldn't. I physically wouldn't. So I went out there and I won that game.
To tie it, and he misses it, rips out. Oh, and we have a storm of the court. The fans are on the court. The fans are on the court. Plymouth North wins it, an absolute thriller.
Parson had a feeling Marcel might not want to lose against South, so he called in basketball player Connor Jepson to get the job done.
You know, I love the game of basketball. I'm always working on my game. I do the Micans every day. I pride myself on making layups. But when Parson came around with this money, I just couldn't resist. I had to sell the game, and look what it's gotten me.
He finds Liam Day. Oh, Jepson with the steal! He drives in! Oh, he misses the layup, but Marcel's there with the follow, and he buries it!
You know, I got the steal, but you know, I missed my layup. I tried to do my part. But Nick Marcel he had too much pride in the program.
And afterwards, he pulls me aside and he says, Nick, you just cost me $1,000. All right, you're getting suspended. And I said, for what? And he said, I'll see you in a month. And that was the last I've heard from him.
While gathering all this information, we went to Officer Ireland to help us finish this investigation.
I've had students come to my office along with parents contact me over the phone about potential gambling on high school sports. I wouldn't think that high school sports would be the platform to, use gambling for. I think we have a pretty good idea what's going on, and we have some leads. We just got to look further into them.
After keying in Officer Ireland to our findings, we let him close this case.
Hey, Detective. Did that warrant go through yet? Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the anonymous tips and Officer Ireland's help for getting this case almost closed. We wish him the best of luck for trying to put a stop to this bad behavior. Oh, what is that? Oh my.
Ridiculous. This is not right. I'm an innocent man! I'm an innocent man! I'm this is not true!
Mr. Parson, we have a arrest warrant for your arrest.
It's not true!
Betting in public.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a lawyer. You're gonna be in trouble. These kids!
You can get whatever you want.
I'd get away with it if it wasn't for these pesky kids!
Alright, do you have anything that's gonna stab me, poke me, or hurt me?
No!
Alright.
Okay, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't do stupid things. So.
I didn't!
Alright.
You're gonna regret this. In the Eagle car. Watch your head.
Well, folks, there you have it. Case is closed. Reporting for PNN, I'm Liam Husband.
Wow, Lucy and Liam just gave us a very disturbing look at some of our very own here at North. I can't express enough how sorry I am for playing a part in this scandal.
Maybe you should work on your micins.
You know what, Seeger? I've had enough of your shenanigans. We have more important things to get to.
Right. Brenna took us behind the scenes to see what goes down at those famous history lunches we hear so much about.
Oh, ow.
Oh, Chris Bruno's birthday today, baby. Every year, for Mr. Bruno's birthday, I like to bring in some of my Hale's famous cake. The trick is to undermix the ingredients. Everybody's going to get to know each other in the oven. I am serious about this cake. I'm up the night before, cracking eggs, and measuring granulated sugar. I even make my own buttercream frosting. It's a recipe passed down from the Hales for generations. It's probably the thing I do best.
I think he's really gonna like it. I mean, really like it.
Jeremy, this cake is messed up.
I think it's okay. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, happy birthday to me. The cake was just so great. The paperclip added a nice touch. It added some good texture in there. I really appreciated that. Thanks, Jeremy.
Thanks, Brenna. We sure got some characters in the history department.
Speaking of characters, let's get to hall walking.
On this edition of Hall Walking, we asked to see your best impressions.
Hi, I'm Patrick Mahomes, Super Bowl champion, and we just won the Super Bowl. Go Chiefs!
Let's do them, Mayor.
All right. Okay, boys. All right. We're going to lunch, okay? All right. Let's clean it up. Hey, look who's here. How you doing? How you doing, Jeffy? How are you today? Hey, I was gonna get a subbed out of Market Basket.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
What's up, my carbon life forms? Listen here, child. I'm gonna be nicer this New Year's. That's my resolution.
New card. What do you think?
I think I could. Is it a fight with Parker?
That's platinum gold. Only the finest.
Yeah, it's like the time I was on PNN. Yeah. Hey, Lois, look, I'm on. Look, Lois, I'm on PNN. Yeah.
Stupid doctor said I was fat.
Yo, be Meg.
Hey, Peter.
Shut up, Meg. Alright, better.
Yo, please. All right. I like what it's doing.
Oh, Arthur Morgan. Hello, Arthur Morgan.
Here we are with Seeger Crane, an amazing reporter for PNN. I think he's one of the best guys I've ever met, if I do say. We got Connor Jepson right here, the Joker himself. Billy Norris, the Rat King of Plymouth North. I just think we got a great group of guys right here. Thank you.
Top of the morning to you, lassie. My name's Sinead O'Connor from County Cork, Ireland. Your dad's at the pub. You better get him before he gets out there.
Go Eagles!
This is Hunter Byron.
I don't know, bro. Maybe. I don't know, bro.
Bro, what are you doing right now? What are you doing? No, stop. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Bro, what? That doesn't even make sense. Yo, what are you doing, bro?
Dude, what are you doing? What are you doing, bro? I don't know. Maybe.
I don't got one.
Okay. Yeah, no good. No good.
How you doing, Nick? You coming to practice on time today?
We need a cook right now. Jesse, come here. Jesse. This is my partner, Jesse Pink. He's a wonderful man.
This is Mr. Keefe. All right, listen up, please. Please listen up, all right?
Yeah, if you guys know Rich Piana, do a pretty good impression of him.
You gotta eat real food, protein. Everybody wants to be big, but nobody wants to eat.
Hey, Mrs. Anderson. Hey. You want to let me on the list? Come on. I know you want to spot me a chocolate milk, right?
Those were some great impressions. Much better than your Joker impression.
Seeger, you wanna know I got these scars? My father.
Back off. It's time for news and notes. As a reminder, there will be no school tomorrow, April 1st.
The chess team is playing in the national championship next weekend down in Ohio. PNHS will be sending 3 buses of students for anyone interested in watching.
The Plymouth North players will be putting on Better Call Saul, the musical, on April 31st at 7 p.m. Tickets can be purchased during lunches up until then.
Due to attendance issues, seniors will no longer get out on May 26th. Seniors' new last day of school is Thursday, June 16th, same as everybody else.
And lastly, administration has decided that Go Guardian will be implemented on all students' phones when they're in the building between 7:20 and 2 p.m.
That's all for today, Eagles. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter to get more updates and vote on your favorite segment. Have a great weekend, and most of all,
April Fools!